Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, and we are here on October 15th to be able to release, as pursuant to charter, the proposed capital budget for 2026. Next to me is Deputy County Executive Richard Wisney, and on the right-hand side is the Director of Operations, Joe McDonald. We want to start first by giving the supreme shout out to Budget Director Larry Soule, who is up here with us, and his entire team, but specifically our Assistant Budget Director, Diane Benedito, for all of their work in pulling all of these things together, all of the department heads that have been working so hard since June to get to where we are today. So we know, of course, New York State counties and all our municipalities are facing serious pressures. There's rising costs, uncertain aid from our federal government, and increasing community needs. This year's capital budget had to strike a careful balance with fiscal discipline on one hand and smart, targeted investment on the other. As I've said so many times before, this is not a year for wish list, it's a year for wisdom. So the proposed 2026 capital budget focuses on doing more with less, prioritizing projects that protect safety, strengthen infrastructure, and supports our residents where it matters most. We're going to continue to cut inefficiencies. We're bundling projects to save money, accelerating work on those projects that have been already approved to avoid costly delays. In recent months, over 120 projects have been formally closed, freeing up approximately $13 million for future needs. That's what responsible government looks like. Uncertainty doesn't mean inaction. It means being smarter, more selective, and more determined. Starting off at the top of the list with affordable housing. One of the top priorities continues to be for Westchester County, affordable housing, because stability starts with a place to call home. Since 2019, county funds helped create or preserve 3,383 affordable homes. This plan adds another $25 million each to our Housing Implementation Fund and New Homes Land Acquisition Program, bringing nearly $500 million in total housing investment through 2030. These projects help families stay where they grew up, allow seniors and disabled residents to remain in their communities, and to create construction jobs that strengthen our economy. One of the things that we saw recently over the past year was a fund that was created through affordable ARPA dollars that was done. It was $90 million, which was a brainchild of Joe McDonald, and working with our budget director, we put aside $90 million for something we called the Flex Fund. This year's capital budget will put in $25 million for what we call the Flex Fund 2. The difference being, again, our ARPA dollars with the Flex Fund. Original dollars had to go through a different path. This is going to be similar to another set of programs for affordable housing dollars, and it will help us continue the forward progress that our Board of Legislators wants to continue as far as affordable housing is concerned, creating another program that we can continue to move forward. Our development community and our affordable housing advocates have asked for us to continue to make these investments, and I am proud to announce that we will be proposing that $25 million fund in the 2026 operating budget. To continue on, I'm going to ask Joe McDonald to continue on with our capital projects.
Thank you, County Executive. As we all know, infrastructure is the backbone of Westchester and New York State, and this budget keeps it strong. We're investing $150 million at the Yonkers wastewater treatment facility for critical electrical upgrades and another $35 million for solids handling improvements. To combat flooding and strengthen environmental resilience, a priority of the County Executive, we're directing $9 million toward flood mitigation projects, including $4 million for the Lake Isle Dam. Additionally, we're leveraging $21 million from the New York State Environmental Bond Act for storm protection and bridge replacement. These were the first three projects that were announced as part of the Environmental Quality Bond Act. These projects are about protecting communities and not just repairing systems. And I'm now going to turn it over to the DCE.
Thank you, Joan. Sustainability isn't an option, it's essential. We're investing $122.5 million to replace 94 aging hybrid buses, ensuring cleaner air and more reliable service for our residents. Another $50 million combined county and local match will expand EV charging infrastructure, adding 650 new chargers across 77 sites. We're also continuing the $15 million Complete Streets Municipal Assistance Program, helping local municipalities design and build safer, more accessible roads. Joan?
We're also modernizing many of our county facilities, because behind every one of our infrastructure needs, we rely on these county facilities that need to function properly, modernly, and efficiently. This year's plan includes major investments like the Fleet and Road Maintenance Facility, a $133 million project which will combine our operations that are currently on the Valhalla campus and here in White Plains to one new modern state-of-the-art facility on our Valhalla campus. Additionally, in the arena of project delivery, we continue to bundle projects, working with our chair of the Board of Budget and Acquisition, with legislator Jewel Williams, to bundle projects by type and location to reduce administrative costs and speed delivery, practical steps that save taxpayer dollars.
Those are some of the highlights that we have so far in our capital budget. Make no mistake, this is a tight budget year. The healthcare costs that we have for the county are up by 8% and exceeding budget amounts currently by approximately $15 million. Our daycare enrollment is increasing while federal funding is declining. Early intervention and mental health services are being used more than ever, and we must continue to meet those needs. At the same time, we're facing the potential loss of up to $700 million in state and federal aid. And we're taking real steps to protect taxpayers. So far, we've had a $4 million reduction in overtime in our Department of Correction, led by Commissioner Joe Spano and his team. We have a hiring freeze that's been on all but essential health and safety positions. We've been seeking our state and federal partnerships wherever we can have possible to reduce the county shares of local costs. And I know there's those that ask us all the time about utilizing the reserve funds, and we're going to say this clearly: the reserve funds are not a piggy bank. After the Astorino administration, there was zero in our reserves, and we're not going to let that happen again. Westchester is going to be prepared for whatever things might come in the future for emergencies, and just regular budgeting is not those emergencies. The projects we've talked about so far aren't flashy, they're foundational. They represent safety, stability, and smart governance. Every dollar is working harder. Every project is designed to make Westchester stronger, greener, and more affordable. This capital project budget proposed does not just reflect fiscal prudence, but a commitment to the people of Westchester County. And together we're going to ensure that this county not only weathers the challenges and the storms that are in front of us, but continues to lead. I wanted to also make sure to point out that we have from the team that works so hard every day in operations. We have our Assistant Director of Operations here with us, that is here with us, Karen Pasquale, and certainly Aviva Meyer, who's done so many things as far as so many of the departments, whether it's in the parks, environment, development, public works, a couple of things that she has going on in there. So again, at this time, we're going to ask our team here to sit down, and we're going to ask to come up the chairman of the Board of Legislators, Vedat Gashi, along with the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Jewel Williams Johnson, and certainly your colleagues can come up as well. But again, we're going to ask the chairman and certainly Jewel Williams Johnson to speak, and then we'll go from there. Mr. Chairman, it is my duty to present to you the 2026 proposed capital budget. Good luck. I know you're going to hand it over to Jewel Williams Johnson and go from there.
Thank you, sir.
Bring yours.
I'll talk. Well, I can hold it while I'm talking. Good afternoon, everybody. This is an important part of our calendar. The budget's among the most important things we do, probably the most important single document that we cover. And like any budget, it's a reflection of our values. So we take that seriously. We're going to be having a lot of meetings to discuss it, and that'll give me the segue to mention my colleagues who are here with us today. We are joined by Majority Whip Terry Clements, Legislator Shanae Williams, Legislator Erica Pierce, Minority Leader Margaret Kunzio, and of course, Chair of Budget and Appropriations, and Judah. Oh, Judah, I'm sorry. But Chair of Budget and Appropriations, Joel Williams-Johnson, and Legislator Judah Holstein. They're all important because we're all going to be sitting through meetings where we cover department by department, page by page, this very large document that is handed to us. We take that job very seriously. And I want to thank, of course, the county executive, deputy county executive, Joan McDonald in operations, and Larry Soul, and the whole team at finance. I think, like many other families, we at Westchester, at the board, are going to be experiencing a financial challenge. We expect that challenge to be coming at us. We understand the circumstance that we're in, but unlike a lot of families, we have a fantastic team of people here, including Joan, Larry, county executive, and of course, our amazing team at the Board of Legislators, to include Greg Casciato and Santiago Caceres for the review of this document. So I'm excited to be going through it. And with that, I'll turn to the woman holding the book at the moment, Joel Williams-Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much. The chairman stole a bit of my words, but I will say that I definitely want to thank the county executive and his team, Joan and Larry, who I have every confidence in knowing that this proposed capital budget was not only thoughtful but strategic, considering the times that we're living in and the fiscal uncertainties that are in the news every single day. I've said this a gazillion times as this time of year approached, that I'm a very calm and serene person, never suffered from anxiety, but I have true anxiety about this, about today and onwards. But I can speak for my colleagues, as I know that we take our responsibility in reviewing the proposed budgets, this being the capital budget. We take it very seriously. We go line by line, and we always have an eye on the long-term stability, the infrastructure, and what's best for all of the residents of our wonderful county. So, yeah, we'll be in all-day meetings from now on. Exactly. That oversight that we have, you can rest assured that by the time it comes for us approving everything in December, that we have been thorough, we have been consistent in following our charge, and we're putting our best foot forward for everybody in our county. And I do want to take a moment to we thanked our Board of Legislators budget team, but I also want to thank James Silverberg and Diana Gomez-Holguin for all of their work in coordinating our Budget and Appropriations Committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman and Budget Chair Jewel Williams Johnson. No, you don't get a chance to go away. The book is now in the hands of the legislature as they're going to continue to move forward. I'm certain that you'll be able to not only to watch their meetings online and stream them, but more importantly, you can look on the Board of Legislators website at westchesterlegislators.com, and you can see the meeting schedule. And I know that it is an aggressive schedule where all the departments come in, and in with partnership with the budget director and his team that will be there, as well as the department heads, to be able to explain and defend the things that are in the budget proposal, the capital budget proposal, and be able to get any questions asked and answered that the Board of Legislators or members of their team have put forward. But again, this is the first step in the process. The capital budget has to be released by today, October 15th. The next budget deadline is November 10th, and we will definitely have our budget, our proposed operating budget to the Board of Legislators. Look forward to that. But again, let's take the capital budget now and have that opportunity to go and dig into it. Thank you so much for all the work that the legislators are about to do. Certainly want to make sure, again, thank the legislature that are standing here today for their work, but certainly our Director of Operations, Joe McDonald, and her entire team, the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney. Both Richard and I have had this opportunity before. The Deputy County Executive, we should remind people, was the Budget Director, the Budget Appropriations Chair for the Board of Legislators at one point in time, besides all the other petitions that he's had along the way. And certainly our Budget Director, Larry Soul, and his team that have done tremendous work. And again, giving another shout out to Diane Benedito and the work, because again, doing this work to get to this place is hard, and everyone that had put input for that, the department heads, the chairs, the commissioners, and all those kind of things, and especially the members of the staff that have gone back and forth through this. Again, it's step number one, and it's certainly a baseline to make sure that we're focused on safety, security, and making sure we're doing the best job as possible with the limited resources that we have. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching, but now you get a chance to watch the Westchester County Board of Legislators, westchesterlegislators.com, and see that schedule, and make sure you're looking forward to seeing all the meetings and getting all the questions in front of all of the department heads as they go through this capital operating proposed budget for 2026.